Okay, guys, you clicked that video because probably you did get the jab and you heard about these scary spike proteins which linger on in your body. And all those experts which said years ago that they are leaving, well, seems like it's not the truth. A new study was coming out. And in this video, I want to talk about not just the potential dangers or the things which are following this decision to get the jab. No, I want to talk about practical solutions, how to detox from it properly. A brand new study was just coming out recently, so hang on here with me. And whereas for the last few years, people were calling all of us people crazy for being the conspiracy theorists, now it gets more and more evident in these areas and also in other areas that sometimes it might be good to go against the consensus, to go against what is told to you in the news. And this is what I want to do today. I want to do it based on randomized control trials, based on the scientific data, and tell you exactly what you need to know. In the end, I want to give you hands-on, an easy solution, an easy step-by-step plan to follow to actually undo the potential dangers being done by the jab. I've got some rock solid science evidence and let's get straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's cut to the chase. Researchers led by Dr. Nakao Ota at the University of Tokyo analyzed brain tissue from patients who had hemorrhagic strokes. And as you all know, these spike proteins, they can increase the risk of heart disease, strokes, and many of these things following of the decision of people to get the jab after this big C-19 pandemic, right? Then I leave as always all the sources in the video description down below, and you can fact check everything yourself, of course, right? Using advanced staining and in C2 hybridization, they found that the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein from the mRNA vaccine still expressed in the intima of cerebral arteries in 43.8% of the vaccinated people, like basically half of the people, up to 17 months post the shot, right? That is not infection. Nucleocapsid was negative. It was vaccine-derived mRNA lingering, triggering immune cell infiltration. It will get a little bit dry, but I want to get into the step-by-step plan here just afterwards, but I'll need to leave the dry information first so you see it's actually based on scientific merit, right? And those immune cell infiltrations are called CD4, CD8 macrophages without full-blown inflammation, but enough to raise red flags for silent vascular damage, which vascular damage is the cornerstone of all-cause mortality in most cases, right? It was always before already, but just that the shot, the vaccine increased that damage, that likelihood of dying to any related issues in terms of that. Furthermore, randomized trials and autopsy data link persistent spike to real issues. Ladies and gentlemen, we have seen many healthy adults, non-healthy adults, and also even athletes mysteriously passing away after that, right? So we want to do things which can decrease that likelihood, which can undo potential damage, especially when there are things with low or no downside. That is beautiful things to discover, right? Endothelial dysfunction in many cases, microclots in many cases, and clots is something where we all get scared, right? I mean, obviously. Oxidative stress, ladies and gentlemen, think brain fog, fatigue, arrhythmias on the heart, even sudden cardiac events in athletes, as I already said. Well, in 2025, cell host and microbe study showed spike accumulation in skull bone, marrow, and meninges for years post-infection, with vaccines cutting it by half, but not erasing it entirely. In subsets, it's smurfing through your system, as some call it, potentially fueling excess mortality signals in post-vaccination cohorts. Well, that sounds horrible, and it is. And I think this whole thing, this whole facade many years ago, it was criminal, and you had to be careful for speaking up because you were the conspiracy theorists, right? It's crazy. So I want to do the best to my abilities to actually tell you about these things, to tell you about proper fixes And of course, leave you with a disclaimer that I am not a doctor. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm not telling you this will help. I'm giving you some thought process, some potential solutions, which then you have to discuss with your doctor or research yourself, right? So the good news is your body is a powerhouse for renewal. It is there to serve you. It's constructed by God to survive time as much as possible, right? And that's the cliffhanger resolution I want to give you right now. The potential evidence for clearance, right? The evidence from randomized controlled trials and mechanistic studies points to targeted support for clearing this damage, for clearing this load, which was put upon you with these jabs, right? The more jabs, the worse. The less jabs, the better. Zero is the best. First off, move smart. No marathons, right? A 2024 meta-analysis in the Journal of American College of Cardiology showed moderate activity like brisk walking and swimming reduces the risk already by 30% without spiking inflammation. I'm not a doctor, but I'm telling you, okay, walk more, make more sport. That's beautiful, right? I will tell you a few other things also, but I really want to tell you the full board of things to tackle so you can minimize your risk of all-cause mortality following the decision of getting that jab, right? So again, brisk walking, beautiful. You can recommend this to your grandma or grandpa. It's an amazing thing. And by the way, before we are getting to the heavy hitters, to that easy to follow step list, I want to tell you not just brisk walking exercise, sauna is beautiful, right? Contrast therapy, sleeping well, go for 7 to 9 hours of sleep, go for a whole foods diet, eat omega-3 rich, eat fatty, grass-fed, grass-finished meat, fish, vegetables, and fruit if you want, right? These things are beautiful. Diet, sleep, exercise, praying, time with family, friends. These things are amazing, right? Get this out straight off the bat. And now the heavy hitters. Nattokinase is the first one. Yes, I would have never believed I will talk about something derived from soy on this channel. But yes, nattokinase, that is fermented soy enzyme, degraded full-length spike protein in dose-dependent in vitro trials. One 2022 molecule study showed it's chopping it up in under 3 hours. So nattokinase is beautiful for that. There's also another study, I talked about it on that channel already before, that it can actually slow down and even reverse plaque progression. That is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. It can actually reduce like soft plaque in the artery. I think I'm personally going for 12,000 units a day. You make your own research, right? Paired with bromelain for synergy as per lab models on fibrinolysis. And now antioxidants are your armor too, astaxanthin. It's usually in wild-caught salmon, of course. I'm taking it as a supplement, and OPCs from pine bark, crushed oxidative stress in human randomized controlled trials for vascular health. To detach the spikes from ACE2 receptors, well, curcumin, you might be surprised again that I'm talking about that, but it is a beautiful thing. Just like dandelion leaf extracts block binding in cell studies, think of them as molecular bouncers. And for lipid plaque breakdown, pineapple-derived bromelain, which is enzyme inside the pineapple, but you can take it as a supplement, shines in trials for reducing inflammation markers. And for the antiviral edge, zinc, talked about it on a testosterone video. It's popping up on top of the screen right now. Incredibly powerful with quercetin. In 2023, randomized controlled trials and frontiers in immunology showed boosting T cell response and ionophore action. I think I remember that correctly. Again, guys, I'm not a doctor. I'm just putting down the scientific evidence for you, so you can check mark them all for yourself and reduce the risk as much as possible. And there's one more wild card, which I left for the very end, the potentially most powerful. But again, disclaimer, here we are talking about a medication. So talk with your doctor first, right? But there is evidence in studies that this one can help, not just for parasites and for the big C. No, it can help for that also. And the one is, again, I'm not a doctor, no medical advice. Talk with your doctor first. This one is Ivermectin. It binds spike at multiple sites, potentially inhibiting its function, while large COVID treatment tries like The Active 6 trial found no clinical benefit for that one specifically. It found clinical benefit for parasites. It found clinical benefit for the big C. That one didn't find clinical benefit for that one specifically. There is mechanistic data suggesting utility here, but it is still experimental. This is a new topic, so we cannot expect too much scientific merit yet, especially with ivermectin. You are tapping into an area where big pharma really doesn't want you to know. So definitely, I wanted to open up that topic of ivermectin for you so you can research it yourself. Let me know in the comment section down below. Smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, and watch this very important video. And as always, guys, bye-bye.